What we're about ready to do, guys, is the opposite of what we just did, kind of, in a sense. What we did before was we started by doing what? We graphed it, right? And then from the graph, we ended up on our last step, which was getting the what? The equation, right, of that parabola. We're going to work backwards. I'm going to give you the equation, now we're going to graph it. So it's the other way. All right? So the first thing we have to do is look at the equation. Is it the one where the x minus h is being squared or the one where the y minus k is being squared? That's going to tell us whether it's a vertical parabola going up or down, or if it's a horizontal parabola, meaning going left or right. Now from there, that won't give us enough information alone by just looking at the equation itself. We also have to look at the a. If the a is positive, it'll be going up if it's vertical, or it'll be going to the right if it is horizontal. On the other hand, if it's negative, that means our parabola would be opening up to the left if it's a horizontal, or down if it's a vertical. So you have to look at two things, whether it's horizontal or vertical, and then from there specifically which direction is it going in. Now, number 3, you guys remember maybe from semester 1 that the a tells you the wideness of the graph. If the absolute value of a is less than 1, then it's a fat parabola. If it's equal to 1, it's normal, and if it's greater than 1, it's skinny. Just up there as a memory topic, but I'm not going to really focus on that too much for this unit. We're just going to focus on the direction. So don't worry about the wideness of the graph today. We were just kind of estimating anyway when we did that the first time. Number 4, we are going to have to plot the vertex, and then from there, you know the direction from steps 1 and 2, so just draw the parabola going in that direction. We're not going to worry about finding the focus, but there is a way we could do it. But we're not going to worry about that right yet. All right, so go ahead and write down your directions in number 1, please. So steps 1 and 2 are really just kind of thinking problems. There's really not much work to show, and you don't have to show work for them. I'm going to show work for them just so I can kind of illustrate it as we go. But first of all, let's just look at the equation for step 1 on number 1 here. What's being squared, the x minus h or the y minus k? All right, so is the x minus h being squared or the y minus k? The x minus h, which means it's going which way? Vertically or horizontally? It's going vertically. This is a vertical parabola, which means that it's either going up or down, but now we have to really specify that. Is it going up or down? That's step 2. You look at the a. Now the a is the thing that's in front of the x minus h squared. Now there's nothing there, which means what is a? It would actually be a 1. A lot of times people think it's 0, but if it was 0, that would be 0 times x squared. Now just make the whole thing 0, and we don't want that. The one that will be 0 if it's not there is the h or the k. But if the a is missing, that's a 1. So a equals 1, which is a positive number, which means vertically, is it going to be going up or down? It's going up. So our parabola will be opening upwards like this, since the a is positive. Okay? Now, I told you we're not going to worry about the wideness of this graph, so we're just going to ignore that for now. We'll move on to step 4, which is just to go ahead and graph it. Now, this is the actual answer. So, first of all, we need to find our vertex. What number is being subtracted from the x? 0. There's nothing being subtracted from the x, so that would be 0. And what number is being subtracted from the y? 3. Now, just like with the circles we talked about before, whatever this number is, you got to take the opposite sign. See how it says negative 3? Well, then it's actually going to be a positive 3 when you take it out, because the formula has that negative, which changes it. So my vertex is 0, 3. And it's going which direction again? It's going upwards. And that's as specific as we're going to get about this. Plot the vertex and make the U shape go in the right direction. That's as specific as we're going to get. All right, we're going to do number 2. Now this is a y minus k is squared problem, so I know that it's going to be horizontal this time. Specifically, once again, there's no a, so that means it's a positive 1. Since a is positive, it's going to be going up again. I'm sorry, not up. It's horizontal. If a is positive, which way is it going?
Left. Right.
It opens up to the right. If it's positive, it opens up to the right. Just think of the x-axis. Where does x get positive? To the right. All right, we're skipping step 3 and step 4. Ready to graph it. What is my vertex? What's the h value?
1.
It's 0. Because x minus what would be x? It'd be 0. And then what's my k value? It's the 1. So 0, 1. And it's opening to the right.